Hello, good morning. Welcome to News Desk. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, Majority Leader cautions NPP MPs to cease the infighting amidst rumors that Dr. Bawumia has chosen Energy Minister Dr. Martin Opoku-Prempeh as his running mate.
Election just ahead of us, and we should be mindful of how we express certain views in the public space.
Also coming up, government doubles cash grant to beneficiary household under the LEAP program. We have details as the Gender Ministry releases over 103 million cedis to be disbursed to beneficiaries. And later in the bulletin, we'll tell you about the Impact Makers Award coming off at the Accra International Conference Center this Saturday, and the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair First Clinic, which is happening at the Achimota Mall also this Saturday. You want to stick and stay for details? My name is Faustina Safo. Take a seat, be my guest. Thanks for choosing us. Now we start with the National Communications Authority because they are raising concerns over a resurgence of cyberbullying in digital lending mobile application owners. Now it says some of the mobile owners even threaten to circulate actual or fabricated nude photos of the victims on social media. Now a statement issued by the Cybersecurity Authority has thrown more light on this, and we'll bring you that statement shortly. But let's cross over now to Maxwell Agbawa. He's joining us live from airport with more on this. Maxwell, why are we receiving this alert at this time?
Yes, Faustina. So we are coming to you live from the offices of the Cybersecurity Authority. And you would attest to it that for some time now, we've been receiving calls even from other Joy Newsroom about cases of some people who took money from some of these digital lending mobile applications, calling the Joy Newsroom and complaining about threats to them. Like you rightly mentioned, the Cybersecurity Authority is today raising concerns about a resurgence in some of these reports. So the CSA, the Cybersecurity Authority, is telling us that they have so far in 2024 alone received more than 100 reports of those digital lending mobile application owners threatening some people who took money from them. And we are told that the modus operandi for these digital lending companies is that usually when you install the app on your mobile phone, what happens is that your mobile phone, your mobile wallet is automatically credited with money, sometimes an amount less than 200 cedis. We are told that after that amount is credited to your mobile money wallet, a week after that, you are contacted by this digital mobile lending money operators who contact you with sometimes very exorbitant interest rates. So they demand that if you are unable to pay, then they begin to threaten their customers or their clients. We're told that some of these extortionists and some of these extortion or threats actually include: one, they threaten to circulate actual or fabricated nudes of their clients. Secondly, also they threaten that they will publish it out there that you're a thief, you're a criminal, and all kinds and all manner of threats are unleashed on some of their clients. And these clients have been reporting these cases to the Cybersecurity Authority. And the Cybersecurity Authority actually went ahead to mention the names of some of these digital lending companies. More than 100 of them. We'll be bringing you their names shortly. But today, this morning, the CSA is announcing, wants you to be aware that these companies are not authorized by the CSA. They are not authorized by the Bank of Ghana to give out money to people, and whatever data that they sometimes take from their clients, they are not authorized, to do so by the Data Protection Commission or by the Bank of Ghana. And so the Cybersecurity Authority is warning the populace to be careful when installing some of these apps on their mobile phones. Faustina.
I'm quite interested with digital lending apps that are popping up on our handles each time you go on the App Store or the Google Play Store. And you say over 100 of them not registered. How does the Cybersecurity Authority plan to regulate this new trend? And also, have they hinted of making sure they close down some of these apps?
Well, this morning, you're giving us an indication of what you're doing to clamp down on some of these digital lending companies. And part of it, it's part of the process is actually, first of all, creating the awareness. Because most of the victims who we spoke to, who called the Joy Newsroom, who we've been speaking to, tell us that they do not really understand the terms and conditions of this digital lending company. Some of them borrow money from them not knowing what they have in stock. So it's not like there's a terms and conditions, there's a T&C that you'd have to consent to before this money is given to you. So all of these are kept under the wraps until you borrow money from these digital lending companies. So part of what the Cybersecurity Authority is doing is to create awareness and also to alert the relevant state agencies to take action against some of these digital lending companies.
Interested in how they get hold of nudes. That's quite worrying because we're used to cyberbullying. But then how do they get access of the nudes of their victims?
Well, from the statement, just a little of that information is provided, but shortly we'll be joined by someone from the Cybersecurity Authority who would be able to give us the real details about how they are able to get some of these pictures. But we are told that sometimes when you're applying, there's some information that is required. If you're applying, if you install this application on your phone, sometimes then you grant them access to sometimes your gallery, to sometimes your contact details, contacts of your friends, and all of that. So we are told that some of the photos that they have are actually real photos of their victims or of their clients. But some of them are also fabricated to threaten these clients to make payments, sometimes with very huge interest rates, and then sometimes also, even after the payment is made, these digital lending companies still continue to pester their clients for monies.
Thank you, Maxwell Agbagba. We'll leave you to get details of that. And when we come back to you, we'll get more of that because you're going into that crunch meeting with the Cybersecurity Authority. But on your screens now, appearing shortly, is a statement from the Cybersecurity Authority, and it gives details as to what we're experiencing. It says the Cybersecurity Authority has noted a resurgence in cases of cyberbullying experienced by users of digital lending mobile application apps. Now, the authority has so far received 130 of such reports in 2024. So it gives details. Now, what's the modus operandi? How do they operate? One, it says when a user installs the app, an amount usually less than 200 Ghana cedis is automatically credited to the user's mobile money wallet, even without actual loan request. Now, it goes on to say 1 week after disbursing the loan, the fraudsters use extortion tactics, and this includes demanding loan repayment with high interest rates from the victim or an associate. They also threaten to circulate actual or fabricated nude photos of the victim on social media. Now, they also threaten to label the victim as a thief or a wanted criminal. Now, even after victims repay some of this money back, some of the fraudsters continue to demand additional payments. And that's what the Cybersecurity Authority is working on to clamp down on these fraudsters. Now, joining us on Zoom with more on this is Lead Computer Emergency Response member of the Cybersecurity Authority. He's Stephen Kujo. Thank you for your time here on NewsDesk. Now, let's get to understand 130 cases in 2024. How did we get here?
Hello, good morning, and good morning to your listeners as well. So, yes, the authority runs what we call a point of contact. You can reach us on 292 by voice call or WhatsApp 050-160-3111. So we receive calls or complaints from the public regarding this incident. From what we can tell, people want quick loans, they want financial relief. And for that matter, when they see the advertisements that these people put up on social media or other online platforms, they are attracted, and then they subscribe. And that's where the problem starts. So that's how come we've arrived at this number. Last year, we noted this. After some action was taken, it reduced, but then over the period, we see that it's coming back.
Now, give us details about how some of this loan application work. And you say that it's becoming a problem for the Cybersecurity Authority. So let's get details about their modus operandi. All right.
So what tends to happen is once they get your attention with these apps, they have various names, and we listed some of them. The installation starts, and usually they ask for very detailed permissions to your device. But most users, depending on their level of understanding or appreciation for some of these permissions, will just say yes, yes, yes. And the permissions they pick are very, very detailed. They'll ask for your access to your contact list, access to even your storage, where they can then access things like your photographs. They'll ask you to take a picture of yourself. They'll ask you to take a photo of your Ghana card. So these are very personal information, what we call PII, personally identifiable information about you. So they take this detailed information, detailed access to your device, and then they proceed to then give you what you think is a loan to give you relief. In the marketing they do, they'll tell you, oh, you pay this back in 3 months. But what we see,
Stephen, it appears we're losing connection to you. But on your screens now, you have...
It's usually within 7 days.
Okay.
They repay from them.
Stephen, you're back now. So please, you would have to go back and make your point for us. We lost you briefly.
Okay, my apologies. Where did you lose me?
You could start from some of these lending apps, mention some of their names. We are expanding on the modus operandi, but we want specifics. Who are they, so that we are aware when we are out there?
All right. So these are some of them we've picked up in the complaints we received: Homecar loan, ITAP credit, Star loan. There are a number of them. They come and they change names. What happens is when you work with people like Google to take them off the Play Store, they are back with different names, and people still fall for them. And so in terms of the modules, what happens is they take very detailed permissions. When you start the installation, they'll get access to your, they'll ask for access to your storage, they'll ask for access to your contact list. Once you agree, that's very detailed access to your device. They ask for a photo of you, they take a photo of your Ghana card as well. And so all these pieces of information then gives them quite serious leverage over you. They will tell you, oh, your loan is payable in 3 months' time, but then what you then observe is within 7 days, someone will call you and start making threats. Okay, you owe us so and so, and the interest they'll put on it are pretty high, sometimes as high as 50% or more. They want you to pay back, or else then the threats will start.
Now let's go. I'm really interested in some of these lending apps so that we can be aware when we are out there. On your screen shortly, we'll put that out so that you're aware of some of these lending apps you should avoid if you go online and you're hoping to access any facility. Stay with me, Kujo, because I can see here a Homecar loan, Ant credit, Bean loan, Best loan, Bezel money, Boom loan, Cash Arrow, Cash Wave, CMGH Loan, Cozy Credit, Credit Bag, Diva Cash, Express Loan, 5 Loan, Full Credit, Home Credit, 8 App Credit, Cash Buy, Lever Credit, Lever Loan, Light Science, Loan Fast, Mega Credit, Mina Loan, Mixed Loan, and the list is endless because there are like 100 of them. But then I want to know what the next step of the Cybersecurity Authority is. Have you officially served notice to some of these loan apps, and would you be taking them off the online service?
Right. So this task is not just the Cybersecurity Authority. We work with other stakeholders like the Bank of Ghana.
I happen to be losing you. If you could position rightly for us. If you just tuned in, we're discussing a new alert from the Cybersecurity Authority. They are warning that if you're accessing loan facilities online, you have to be aware because there's a new trend of fraudsters out there, and they're out for your nudes. They take access of your contact list, your phone details, any password you've saved. Because when you log on to this app and you attempt accessing their facility, they demand some of these details. They ask you to allow them get access to your contact list. And this is how they operate. Their modus operandi is after getting these details and crediting you with whatever money they have provided, they increase the interest on the loan and then compel you to pay more than you have received or more than is pegged at that, just so because they have access to some sensitive information on your app. So you have to be aware. We're putting this out on our social media handles. We're Joy News on TV. You could go there and track some of these apps, their names. That way you're fully informed. We're also at the Cybersecurity Authority in subsequent bulletin, especially JN today when my colleague Aisha Ibrahim comes in the studio, will tell you some of the major steps the Cybersecurity Authority is taking to fix the problem. Now let's take you to Parliament because the Majority Leader Alexander Fenyomarkin is warning his colleague NPP MPs and other party sympathizers against fighting each other as the party's flag bearer prepares to announce his running mate. Now, it follows news that Dr. Bawumia has informed President Akufo-Addo he intends to pick the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh, as his running mate. Now, this has led to a lot of back and forth in the party, which the Majority Leader feels should not go on.
And our party members that we should all respect party rules and understand that the times we are in are very sensitive times. We have an election just ahead of us, and we should be mindful of how we express certain views in the public space. Yes, we've all heard matters regarding our tickets, but no decision has been made yet. And so I would want to encourage colleague members of Parliament that we are in this together. There is no perfect person in this world. The language we use, it may not be helpful. So that is all my advice. Let us please be measured in the language we use. The flag bearer of the party has the confidence of the party. And I believe that he would use the structures of the party to come up with certain decisions that he has for us. So let us wait and at least respect the leadership of the party. We should not go out of our way to denigrate ourselves. We should not go out of our way to describe ourselves in a manner that will be unacceptable. So that is all I want.
Away from politics now, let's shift our attention to the Joy News Impact Makers Award. It's happening this Saturday, and we are honoring 10 outstanding individuals who are making an impact in their community. You voted, and we have chosen your votes, and we'll be honoring them this weekend. Well, guess what? They're joining us live here on NewsDesk, two of the awardees, to share their thoughts with us ahead of tomorrow. Thank you for your time. Joining us now, I have Gloria Ladi Adakurugu. She's joining us on Zoom right now. I also have Joel Gia Afi. Thank you for your time here on NewsDesk. I can see you're excited, but what are some of these special projects you have been doing in your community that made you worthy of this award? Let's start with Gloria.
Okay, thank you so much for having me this morning. I've done a lot of projects. I've impacted a lot of needy kids in schools, renovated classrooms to create a conducive environment for them. I've donated furniture, school uniforms, stationaries, a whole lot of things. So I'm glad I'm here today, and such a big platform is honoring me tomorrow, and I can't wait to be there.
I'm sure you spotted some problems in your community, the reason why you're embarking on some of these projects. Share with us some of the situations you have encountered in your line of duty.
The most devastating problem I'll talk about is I went to Upper East region where I come from. I met students, kids from class KG1 to class 3, all sitting on the floor when they come to school. No uniforms, no shoes, nothing. I think that was my biggest project I've done so far since the inception of my NGO. So I was able to donate furniture to them, and you can see the smiles on these kids' faces. That's a great thing I feel like I've done.
As a young Ghanaian, I know the economy is hitting hard on your pocket. So doing some of these benevolent works, how do you get funding?
It hasn't been easy at all. Funding is my biggest problem. When I started this thing, I was doing this with my small salary as a teacher, the salary we receive as teachers. But I decided to extend it on my social media platform, and I got friends and social media friends also coming on board, and my family has also been really supportive.
Let me bring in Joel right now, because he joins us live also with his thoughts and some of the impact he's been making in this community. Joel, what have you been doing that made you worthy of this award?
All right, thank you very much for having me, and kudos to you, the team, and all the organizers. And greetings to the viewers. I practice as a general physician. I'm a family physician in training. So my focus has been delivering health care and pushing health equity in under-resourced settings. So I serve as the medical superintendent of the Sunafo South District Hospital in Kukum, where over the past 7 years where I've worked, we've together collaborated with the community to upgrade the place from a health center to a district hospital. That meant that the community came together to put up infrastructure. We built a 25-bed capacity children's ward. We wrote several proposals, had organizations, local organizations, a cocoa buying company, to put up a maternity block with an inbuilt obstetric theater, which is almost completed. We did renovations and instituted a laboratory. Together with the community, we operationalized an operating theater. And over the years, I've worked with several partners to push health to the doorsteps of the people. Critical among them has been our annual surgical outreach programs, which we've collaborated with several organizations, humanitarian aid with Relief Fund, which is Heart Foundation, under the auspices of the Honorable Regional Minister and then the DC of the district where I work. We've also brought in Vodafone Foundation to renew insurance for the community members and children and people who could not afford their medical bills. So it's purely been about health and to the doorsteps of the people. There are other things that I do also in Bono East region, and as time goes on, I think I'll speak about those as well.
And we're interested in that because we also know that funding when it comes to medical supplies must be a challenge for you, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's been difficult. And to add to what I do in Bono East, I was selected as a Mandela Washington Fellow in 2019. So I spent 6 weeks for leadership training program in Drexel University, did a 4 weeks professional development experience in Arizona at the Maricopa County Department of Public Health. So when I returned back home, I received funding from the United States African Development Foundation, the USADF, and it was a competitive grant. And one of the problems I pitched was difficult access to health in under-resourced places. And one of the communities I identified was in Nkranza North District, particularly in Busia and its environs. So we started a community clinic to drive access to the doorsteps of the people in the rural communities. So we introduced telemedicine consultation, we introduced mobile health clinic services and all of these things. And I've been able to be successful do this because of the collaborations and network that I've built over the years. Some of the collaborations, and to speak to the issues of funding and collaboration, because particularly of the consumables, our mobile health services has been done and made possible through a collaboration with Hope for Ghana, through the benevolence of Dr. Steve Green, who is the founder and president. He is from the US the USA, but there is also a ground operation assistant, a vice president, senior in Volta region. So we use tricycles to start the model and hope that we will scale it up to have a mobile van. Now, together with them, we also constructed 11 boreholes in Bono East region alone. Now, across the country, Hope for Ghana has done 70 boreholes, and most of them are in the Volta region. And it's also expanding access, has done schools and computer libraries and all of that. So it is these networks and these collaborations that has been able to drive these successes. I worked with World Connect and also the Mandela Washington Fellows Association of Ghana for us to have surgical outreach also in Bono East, particularly in the Nkranza North District and Busia, where we offered free surgical services to the people. And some of these consumables and medications were financed through these grants to help the community. So yes, funding has been a challenge, but we looked up to building networks and building collaborations to be able to deliver and drive these social initiatives.
Now, Joe, how did you feel when the Joe News team first contacted you that you have been selected as a top 10 finalist for the award scheme, Impact Makers Award?
Well, it feels so great, and it's also a validation of the hard work that we've been able to do over the period. And as I mentioned in my interview, I dedicate this award particularly to the workers and management team I've been able to work with over this period, and to all the partners and collaborators who have supported us this far. And I mentioned that it's the iceberg effect. So I'm seen and being awarded, but you have a large base of people and supporters and partners who have worked with me and supported my work and to lift me up. So it's a representation of the good work that my staff, my management team, my collaborators, the partners that I've worked with has been able to do over the period. There are several partners too that I've been able to collaborate with. I did a reciprocal exchange with some American partners. We built a summer hut, a meditation garden in Kuku. Recently, we did training for health managers in Nkranza North District in Busia. We also worked with Dr. Veronica Kari from Drexel to do vocational skill training for 150 women with persons with physical disability, people who had mental health diagnosis, who are going through rehabilitation. So all of these are people that I've worked with, that have supported us. And the vocational skills training was through the funding from CDF. So a testament of partnership, a testament of the power of collaborations, that when you get community support and you have an army of people who support you, definitely you'll be able to achieve a lot, you'll be able to make impact, you'll be able to touch the lives of community members and help in your own small way to better their lives.
Let me wrap up with Gloria. Your community members nominated you for this award, and I'm sure you're feeling excited right now. But how do you plan to use this award scheme to better improve the community?
Okay, so as I said, this is a great platform, and all what I seek to do is also advocate to people to also be philanthropists in their small way. Pick one child in your community, support that child with educational basic things to push and see that child on top. So I think this platform or this award nomination is going to help me. And I'm really grateful to Joy News and all the team organizers for nominating me.
Tomorrow is the big day, so we'll be looking forward to seeing you. I'll be there. Some of the top staffs here at Joy News will be there to give you your award. Thank you, Joel and Gloria, for joining us here on NewsDesk. Now, let's stay with health, because the Minister of Health, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, is proposing the addition of a seed fund to the operation of new hospitals in the award of contracts for projects and construction. Now, this, he says, will ensure the hospital have adequate resources to take off. The proposal was mooted after the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boaji, raised challenges confronting the operations of some new hospitals. Nana Aljima joined the minister in touring some newly built hospitals as part of a tour of the Ashanti region and filed this report.
The Kumau and Fomena hospitals in the Ashanti region are among 7 facilities awarded to the NMS Group in 2012 at $175 million. The 2 facilities are already in operation ahead of their official commissioning. According to the Health Ministry, the newly built Sewa and Swame hospitals will be operational in September, but the facilities already in operations are financially burdened in their takeoff. Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boaji is Director General of the Ghana Health Service.
The lights are on, but they don't have money. But the lights have to be on. They have to buy petrol and go up. They have to stock their pharmacies, but there's no, and especially with the delay in health insurance, I think they are waiting. I think it's November that you would have qualified. So maybe even if you get, which means that you have about 7 months of working with virtually nothing. And I think that is something that we really must institutionalize to ensure that such hospitals are given some seed fund.
Both the Fomena and Kumau district hospitals are yet to be fully functional due to challenges with staffing. Dr. Abena Yelson is the medical superintendent at Fomena District Hospital.
Currently, because of the staffing problems, we are not running the whole hospital. We've closed some sections. The emergency, for instance, is a ward where we are admitting almost everybody. So we stabilize you in one, we triage, stabilize you in one corner, and then within the same ward, we move you when you are stable to another side. Our staff are doing 2 shifts a day, 12-hour shifts, instead of the usual 8-hour shift. They come in the morning from 8 and close at 8 p.m.
Medical Superintendent at Kumau District Hospital, Dr. Alex Agbanu, shares similar obstacles.
The high cost of running the facility, fueling the generator sets, high electricity bills, and high cost of maintenance and care of the environment are all part of the costs.
Minister of Health, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, touring the new facilities, was impressed with the healthcare delivery so far. He proposes seed funding to address the challenge.
Be rest assured that we will take a good look at the staffing situation, especially. I think we must seriously start to consider and to make this seed fund as part of the package right at the beginning when we are building hospitals. So should we have a rule now going forward that any project you do, these were 7 hospitals,
assuming you are sharing 1% of the project cost to all these 6 hospitals, 1.75 million, each one will get some decent money to start life. And so, director infrastructure, because the only time that all of us are serious about finding the money, allocating the money, and see how to pay is during the conception, design, contract stage. If we don't discuss money for the hospital and they finish the hospital, in fact, maybe the chairman who started the project would be in Europe. But during the design and the discussion, everybody's around. So I think going forward is one of the serious things that we will be advocating for future projects.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
Well, government has doubled the cash grant to beneficiary households under the LEAP program. Now, the Gender Ministry has also released over 103 million cedis to be disbursed to the beneficiaries. On your screens now is a statement from the Gender Ministry and also a breakdown of the new increment. Now, it says beneficiaries are to receive 100% increment in cash grants, and that's because they have doubled the cash grant for the LEAP program. Now, these are the categories and the year when it comes to the trend of cash grants paid bi-monthly. The first category, for the house category, we have the eligible member household. Now, in 2015 to 2023, they were receiving 64 Ghana cedis. In June 2023, it went to 128 Ghana cedis. But now, with this 100% increment, they're now entitled to 256 cedis. Now, for eligible member household, they were entitled to 76 cedis in 2015 to 2023. In June 2023, that amount was increased to 152 Ghana cedis, and now with a 100% increment, they're entitled 304 Ghana cedis. Now, for the next household, they are also to receive 88 cedis, 178. That's in June 2023, and then in June 2024, 352. So payment is scheduled to start on the 1st of July. So we will be giving you details and break this down as we bring you GN today. Right now, let's talk about the National Science and Maths Quiz. That will be coming your way after business.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The Minerals Income and Investment Fund, MIF, is assuring of maximum investments in human capital to ensure that Ghanaians benefit more from the discovery of natural resources. Speaking to journalists after launching the MIF Women in Mining Scholarship Scheme, Chief Executive Edward Nanaya Okoranten said this is a sure way for the country to achieve economic growth.
The Minerals Income and Investment Fund's Women in Mining Scholarship is targeting female students in science and engineering courses in mining communities across the country. The move is part of initiatives aimed at empowering females to go into the mining sector and develop interest in science and engineering. According to the Chief Executive for MIF, Edward Okoranten, investing in human capital will inure to the benefit of the country as more locals will gain opportunity to work in the key sectors of the economy.
Investments should not just cover the investments in equities or value chain or value delivery, but investment must cover your human capital. In fact, the most important investment any corporate entity can make is in the human resource. And for us to be able to garner the value that we seek to, especially when it comes to mining, we can't say that it's too early. You know, it's almost like the free SHS. I know you have the arguments that we should wait 10, 20 years before we implement free SHS, but the negative social impact does not wait for you. As quickly as possible, you need to make sure that you have an even investment outlook, where you look at what you have to do in terms of your investments to be able to get your ROI, returns on investment, etc.
Speaking at the same event, Deputy Minister for Finance, Dr. Alice Ampabing, underscored the importance of the initiative as a complement to the government's quest to promote skills education.
At its core, the scholarship scheme supplements government's efforts and consolidates the impressive strides made in the field of education across all levels under the leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic. It is a trite knowledge that this government investment in the education sector is unprecedented in both its scale and consequential impact in the annals history of the country.
The scholarship scheme is in collaboration with the University of Mines and Energy in Takwa.
Now, contributing about 2/3 of Ghana's GDP, the micro, small and medium sector is expected to receive tailored support to grow that sector of the economy. Now, speaking at the launch of the new Ghana Enterprise Agency regulation, Chief Executive Kwasi Yankee noted that the new regulation, which properly defines and classifies the sector, will improve policies targeted at the growth of the SME sector.
The launch of the new Ghana Enterprise Agency Regulation 2023 is to define the various classifications under the micro, small and medium sectors. The regulation, which has been passed by Parliament, will seek to aid policy formulation to improve the support provided to the sector. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, Ghana's SME sector contributes about 70% of the country's GDP, while it employs about 80% of the workforce. Kwasi Yankee is the Chief Executive of the Ghana Enterprise Agency. She explains that the new regulation will improve support schemes to boost the SME sector.
It allows policymakers to understand the sector in which they need to support. It allows us to design interventions without randomly coming up with interventions. Because now you know what the sector is, you know what the type of people you're working with is, and you know what type of needs that they might have. What does it also do for policymakers? One of the things we seek to do as Ghana Enterprises Agency is to set up a database, a major database. We do have one, but now we're going to reclassify our database and also expand that database. It allows us to segment the micro, small and medium enterprises, the businesses available. It allows us to then also take these MSMEs and say, what interventions are we giving them? How do we migrate them?
Minister for Trade and Industry, Kobina Tahir Hammond, noted that the new regulation will boost economic growth.
As we continue to solidify the country's position as a leading hub for entrepreneurship and investment, immense focus is placed on the nurturing the micro, small and medium enterprises sector, recognizing the integral role they play in both society and the economic expansion. MEAs are the backbone of Ghana's economy, and growth of the sector is aligned with the goals of the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda.
Meanwhile, CEO of the Association of Ghana Industries, Seth Chumakwabwa, called for the strengthening of policies which protect and build capacity of small and medium enterprises to enable them compete fairly.
So if you look at the number of programs they are churning out lately, it's quite encouraging and indeed comprehensive. So it is important that our MSMEs get to know of these opportunities and take full advantage of it. I'm not saying this is enough. There's a lot more that could be done. A lot more could be done in the area of making sure that the imports that are coming in to compete with them are curtailed in a way. And the way to do it is that we build local capacity. So when these activities are taking place, these support schemes and programs are taking place, it's helping to build the capacities of local enterprises so they can compete with the imported products.
The launch also coincided with the commemoration of the 2024 International MSME Day.
And that's it for this segment. The news returns after the break.
Thanks for staying with us. Now let's tell you about the National Science and Maths Quiz. Ghana Senior High School now holds the bragging right as the new champions of the GOIL PLC Northern Zonal Championship of the National Science and Maths Quiz. In a dramatic event for academic supremacy, the school beat their city rivals Tamale SHS and Upper West St. Francis Xavier Seminary to clinch the ultimate title. Emmanuel Bright Kweku reports from Tamale.
Match to lift the trophy for the first time for their school, coming all the way from the regional qualifiers through to the championship and semi-finals. They came into this particular grand finale as a runner-up, and now they are leaving as champions of the northern region. Ghana Secondary School, Tamale, are the new champions of the Northern Zonal Championship of the GOIL PLC National Science and Math Quiz. Won the Northern Zonal Championship for the first time, beating their own city rivals, Tamale SHS and also St. Francis Xavier, to make history for their school. I want to find out from their teacher. I said I saw you crying when they said you won.
I was a little bit emotional because we have struggled. We have trained our students very hard for years, trying to win the contest. Through hard work, dedication, 9th, 11 p.m. we are still in school with our colleague teachers. Yesterday we couldn't even sleep. And God willing, we are able to win it. So I was very, very emotional, thankful to God, coming to all my colleagues and the students with us, and our headmaster and the entire school.
Now let me find out from the students quickly. You are engaged earlier and you were telling me they were only lizards. Are you sure you met the lizards today?
Definitely. Because we have won the contest, and to what is given to you by God, no matter whoever call themselves lions or goats or whatever they call themselves, they cannot do it. Yes. Because this year is our year, yes. And we are not only going to qualify, take the regional champions, but we are going to take the nationals. Yes. This year, we Ghana Senior High School is going to represent the whole Ghana, yes. And we are going to be the national science and maths with goats from now onwards.
Now, let me find out from you also, what does this mean to you?
Oh, first of all, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bringing us here safely and winning this contest safely. As we already said to you yesterday, we told you us and now all the lions, they are all gone. They are left with what? Lizards. Today we saw that, we said we are going to what? Kill and bury. And you could see that they were buried. Deeply buried. And this is not the end. We are going to work on our mistakes and come back stronger at the national level.
Yes, even though in the first semi-final contest we lost with the highest point, we talked to our students and then we came back to the finals. We met the school that actually won our semi-final contest, and yet we have been able to gain victory over them. So we are going back. It is not over until it is over. We are going back, going to prepare adequately. We are going to work assiduously so that when we come for the national, we will give whichever school we give a very good match, a very good run for their money.
All right. These are the students and teachers of Ghana SHS, and they have won the Northern Zonal Championship of the GOIL PLC National Science and Math Quiz. Well, they met their own city rivals, Tamale SHS and also St. Francis Xavier, all the way from the Upper West region, and they are now the new champions. They hold the bragging rights here in the Northern region. And
Well, that's it for News Desk. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Also, I'd like you to know that coming up this Saturday at Achimota is the first clinic for the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair. You should be there if you're thinking to own a property by the end of this year. You should be at the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair. My name is Faustina Savum. Have a pleasant day as you enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye.